Alright, now let's take a look at a brand new tool here in Photoshop CS3 called the Quick Selection tool. You know, it's one of those tools that kind of sneaks under your radar until you start using it a few times, and I gotta say it's kind of become my go-to selection tool lately, especially when I need to do just that, make very quick selections, even sometimes not so quick, and in some complex selections it really works great. Alright, so you go to the toolbox, and it's grouped right inside there with the magic wand. It's called the Quick Selection tool. And the way this selection tool works is it's kind of like a brush. So you can control the size of the brush just by changing your brush size. Or you can use your right and left bracket keys. Right bracket key makes it larger, left bracket key makes it smaller. Alright? And the way I'm going to use it here is I'm just going to click on an area that I want to select. Let's say I want to select this whole background. So I'm just going to click on an area. And then I'll just keep clicking, and by default, you see the little plus icon in there? Well, by default, this tool is automatically set to add mode. So every time I click, it's going to continually add to the selection. And you see what a nice, quick, easy job it did by just selecting that green background. But let's deselect and let's try it over the flower here. So same thing works. I'm not just selecting a green background. Instead, this time I'm selecting something a little bit more complex. And notice I'm not even clicking near the edges of the flower here. I'm clicking inside. And the tool actually knows to go out and search for those edges. Pretty remarkable stuff. And you can see just with a few clicks there, it did a great job. Now, if it ever doesn't select, you can see there's some green areas back here and down here. What you can do is use your left bracket key, knock that brush size way down, hold down your Option key on the Mac, Alt key on the PC, and just click inside those areas. And just again, hold down Alt or Option, get your brush size way down, and click inside some of those real tiny areas, and they'll be removed from the selection. That said, I kind of picked an easy image here, so let's move over to something that's a little bit more difficult. And here we have another image, and this one's not quite as easy as the other one, just because it doesn't have that nice solid background. There's a little bit more going on here, but just to demonstrate to you how nicely it works, let's go ahead and start clicking on the bride and groom here, and you can see it's just snapping right to those edges. You can see down there it didn't do so good down here, but we'll take care of that in a second. And it snaps just to those edges, and then we will go in here and get the rest of the hair and maybe even just that little top area. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Hold down the Option key on the Mac, Alt on the PC, and you can see my cursor changes to a little minus sign. And then I'll just do a quick swipe right along the left hand or right hand side here, the other left. And there we go. You can see it takes away from that selection. So there you have it. It's called the Quick Selection tool. A very, very cool new tool. Can I make any more words rhyme with the word tool and cool? So a very interesting, I'll say, and very powerful new selection tool inside of Photoshop. It does a great job when you just need to quickly select an area, hence the name. And I gotta say, it works wonders even on some complex selections. So give it a try.